Am I wrong? Hey, screeners, how you doing? It's me, the one AJ, Anthony Jordan.
That's him. No, that's him. And it's me too,
No, you were
Nico
right the
Laro.
first time.
We're not live. We're not live this week. It's sad. It's sad, but time schedules are difficult. We will aim to be back live next month. But we're here to talk about movies. Movies are the wonderful thing. If movies are your jam, subscribe to the channel. The channel is all about keeping cinema and indeed physical media alive. Long love cinema, all cinema, Hollywood, independent, international. We do it all here. And today we're doing spoofs and parodies.
Yeah, we are indeed. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. This is obviously in celebration of the new Naked Gun movie, which is really interesting because I was walking through Leicester Square and I was tempted to go cinema to watch something, and I hadn't booked. I can't remember what it was I was going to go and watch, and I saw the Cineworld was closed off. I was like, oh, must be a premiere. Then I saw the pink carpet. Then I saw the sign. So I was within the area just minutes or hours before the premiere of this new Naked Gun film comes out. Which, you know what, different side to Neeson for me, and not a bad thing.
And literally just come up on my YouTube now. The Naked Gun is review. Literally, as we've just said that, that's just come up on YouTube. That's brilliant.
Wow.
I have to say, I'm weirdly excited about this new Naked Gun movie. It looks like you and me have said for the longest time on this channel that slapstick spoofs, parodies, they kind of died because of certain entries into the genre, and they didn't really make money anymore. And comedic sensibilities change. They've kind of become a dying art. When I saw this trailer for Naked Gun, it really made me think, Jesus, I've missed stuff like this. It's lowbrow, but I need a bit of lowbrow now and then.
Yeah. I must admit, it was really funny because what happened with me on this is there was no rewatches or anything like that. There's one film which I have watched for the purpose of this. All the others are like, I remember this. I remember watching that. I remember watching this. There's a few others, but I was like, I would like to just highlight some of the films that I enjoy and had this. It was the spoof parody world is a weird one,
isn't it?
Yeah, it's a weird thing that we didn't have it's a lot of fun. It's an absolute lot of fun. So it's good to see. It's good to see them in there.
Let's get into it then, because we've got a lot of films to talk about here. It's a big old genre.
We do indeed. We do indeed have a lot of movies to go through. But before that, would you like to tell everyone just what the movie Mount Rushmore is all about?
Yeah, so for those of you joining in for the first time, welcome to the Silver Screen Dudes and the Movie Mount Rushmore podcast. It's basically a top 10 show between two best friends from school. We decide what our topic is, what our list is each and every month. We go our separate ways, we compile our lists, and we come back right here and deliver to you, the Silver Screen Dudes, our individual top 10s. This month, AJ will go first, delivering his bottom three. I will then deliver my bottom three. AJ will deliver his next two. I will deliver my next two. And then we will trade one apiece. If at any time while we are rounding off our individual top 10 movies, did I miss? No, it said, yeah. I'm having such a senior moment today. I can't tell you. Then we will trade one apiece. If at any time while we are running off our individual top 10 list, one person has a movie in a higher position, that person will say,
Hunt.
And we will punt and talk about that movie when we get to the higher position. Once we have both rounded off our individual top 10s, we will create, as the name of the show implies, and the dearly departed voice of Chandler being the movie, Mount Rushmore. These are the four quintessential diverse must-see movies of the genre, which this week is
top 10 spoof/parody movies. So yes, guys, it's the ones where you will see a film and it's either taking on a twist of the genre or of a specific film, or they just extract different parts from different films along the way. If you're not familiar with it, go see Naked Gun, or even better, check out the 10 and potentially up to 20 movies that the Silver Dudes will be mentioning right now. Okay, let's not dilly-dally anymore, and let's go in with my number 10, which feels a bit of a reach considering what it's in honor of. But I am going with Naked Gun 33 1/3, The Final Insult. Now, have you seen it? Are you familiar with it?
I have never seen a Naked Gun movie for my sins.
So here's the thing. I've seen one of them. I think I tried to go back to Naked Gun 1 once. It's weird sometimes when you just get attachment issues. I could have gone back and seen the other two. I think it was Naked Gun 2.5, and then played on the, they just go stupid, and there is no like 30. There are not 33 films. This is the third film, and instead of just being 33, they call it 33 and a third. It's just the way they played into it, and that's the funny thing with these stuff. You would get giggles in even the title, the way they do it, much like how we appreciate the opening screens to Deadpool. These were just by seeing the title, you're like, they've done it again.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you look back and it wasn't that funny, but it worked, right? So that's kind of how we work with it. But what it is Frank Drebin, who is senior at this point now, because the latest film shows that everybody's a junior, is coming out of retirement to stop a terrorist group attacking the Academy Awards, I believe it was. But what you'll find is through all the tropes of everything, through what I love about Leslie Nielsen as Frank is that it's pretty much Mr. Magoo. He's like the most clueless detective you would ever find, but somehow always manages to make it work. And you will just catch things from everything that was very pop culture of the time, either trends, as I said, of the action movie or from other films. You're like, hey, they stole that from that, haha. And that was the good bit of comedy that you got from it. And as I said, I've been back, and maybe the others were just beyond my time or what have you, but I remember seeing this in my early years of childhood. When I say early years, of really having a passion for film. And it was a favorite on Sky Movies. And it's just something I recall, like we would either watch or we'd have recorded it, and we'd just, it's one of those pastime movies. It was something when you had a good moment, it was, to quote you new kids, it was trending. It was trending in our household. It was something you would watch and have a good laugh with. So yeah, Naked Gun, 33 and a third, definitely needed a mention from me in that.
Worth seeing all of them, or can you just watch these as and when they come on?
I've gone back to one. I've definitely not seen two. But this one was there. I know in this current, I'm going to put it out there now, appreciate the comedy for its time. It's not that people were offensive to religions, races, genders, and sexuality. Reason being, I know that some people may look at it now, and there's a scene that might lead people to believe that it's transphobic. It's not. It's just an element of comedy that they had. They developed. Look, if that's the case, Ace Ventura is also transphobic, I'm aware, but I still laugh at stuff, and it's not.
Actually, yes.
No, it is. No, but some people see it as that, and it's dare I say, Ace Ventura is worse than what you'll get in this, but it's the comedy of its time without being offensive, and I can say this with knowing people from the trans community who have laughed at both Ace Ventura and this, so it's very much a product of its time, and I'm not saying that the world of snowflakes and that you're allowed to be offended by what offends you, and rightfully so, but at the same time, it's not for me to judge anyone else's feelings, what should I say, but no, appreciate the comedy for what it is. 33 and a third I can recommend. I actually want to do the whole collection myself. Be like, hey, some of them, some stuff, even this, I might look back and be like, this is aged terribly. But
maybe it needs to be added, as I said, to my collection.
Yeah, as I said before, I live by, especially with this, I'm very much on a nostalgia. I have not rewatched a single film. I just went, yeah, I remember that and gone for it. Because this is a dying project. So let's bring it back.
Yeah.
So that's how I done it. All off of the nostalgia that I remembered.
Your number 9.
Cool. My number 9 is very much more of the same. This time we're swapping Leslie Nielsen for good old Charlie Sheen. Because yes, guys, I am talking about Hot Shots Part 2. Now, yeah, you've seen Hot Shots, right?
I've seen pieces of Hot Shots. I've never sat down and watched either one start to end. I've seen the iconic scenes.
Yeah, this is it. Look, everything that I said about Naked Gun, just transfer it to Hot Shots. Is that now, as you can see by Charlie Sheen's image, apologies for those on all pod platforms, he is very much Sylvester Stallone a la Rambo. That's exactly who you're taking on. And again, being Part 2, just like First Blood and Rambo, he's come out of retirement and he has to save civilians who have been captured by this terrorist group. And it's all very much the same. And this is the stuff that I saw when he was imitating Rambo, but not having seen Rambo, because yes, I have parents who were parenting. I would not be allowed to have seen Rambo at that age, but all the spoofs continue. But this is more from a war action movie, and you'll get all the tropes from this, that, and the other. I believe there might even be a nod to Terminator 2 because we're around that age and stuff like that. One of the scenes that's really cool now that I did not have any knowledge of is you've got Charlie Sheen. Do I say it? Do I say it? I'm gonna say it. It's just what I mean. If you'll see it, you'll see it. But you've got Charlie Sheen on a boat writing this message of his memoirs, or what? You know the one, yeah. He crosses Martin Sheen, and at the time I didn't. I think my dad had told me that's his dad, which was like, oh my god, yeah, that's cool. But it's very much reminiscing through Apocalypse Now, and then catching each other, and then looking at each other and going, I loved you in Wall Street. And I was like, Wall Street? Little did I know that father and son were in that film. And this is the cheesy comedy that you'd get, but it was just like golden nuggets and very good ways of just playing into the psyche. Like, yeah, absolutely loved it. So we've done the detective movies.
Apologies for the police sounds, guys. One of us lives in London.
Do you know what? And I had to open the double glazing because it got just slightly steamy. It's a good part of London, but yes, we still need.
It is hopefully a good part of London. That's true.
It is a nice part of London, but yeah, emergencies happen all over. You don't want to be like, let's hope it was a medical emergency because those happen everywhere. But no, whatever it is, best of luck and support you.
Anyway, number 8.
Support your services. Right. So we've done police, we've done warish. Now let's do hood, because you've had your Mr. Societies and Juice and all of the rest.
All
have you heard of?
Seen.
Oh, they're very much that New Jack City, all of those stuff. The Wayans brothers. The Wayans brothers, before they done all their other stuff, actually made one that I can endorse. And that, guys, was Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. So as you can see, they've taken like
Menace to Society, South Central, and Boys in the Hood.
Boys in the Hood. Juice is also another film. Yeah, so that is exactly what they've done. So they just took a whole load of different films and just went for it. And they just took the whole genre of, even dare I say, elements of like Friday, and it's just all of these tropes from your hood movies, and just parodying it, just having an absolute laugh with it all. And it's literally that. So all of these different films that you'll have, there's a group of people. You've got the overly militant black guy who only happens to date white women. There's it's all of these stuff. There are scenes that will make you appreciate the Wayans brothers for all types. Lines like, films, I feel sorry for your mother. What? And then like this massive shootout in a bar, and like there's like not in a bar, in the shop, they're breaking everything, and then someone kills the. I shouldn't spoil it, but I'm going to spoil it. They kill the shopkeeper, and they're like, "Why'd you shoot him? I didn't shoot him. I done this." And then you see there's a white guy who turns up, and then he throws the gun, and they're like, "He's the guy who just caught AJ. He's the guy who framed OJ. He's good." Like they just toyed with like current affairs as well as situations from all the films, and you get a really good laugh out of it. This is when I was like, the Wayans brothers actually
sounds like my sort of vibe, to be honest, mate, because I've always
give it a shot.
There's certain hood movies I like. There's certain ones that maybe I'm not the correct. I mean, I know I'm not the target demo, but there are certain ones which just don't land with me. Friday, that one, however, with Lawrence Fishburne.
Boys in the Hood? Boys in the
Lawrence
Hood.
Fishburne, where that kid gets gunned down in the alley over absolutely
Lawrence
biggest
Fishburne, Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah.
Brilliant movie. Absolutely.
That was a good film. Straight Outta Compton, I would argue, is a hood movie. Great film.
So, funny enough, we'll be talking about that very shortly. That's one that I'll be bringing up very shortly. Similar to, but yeah, these are the things. I mean, it's guys from the hood, but it's not hood movie based on budget and stuff like that. Not that Boys in the Hood had a low budget, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Stuff that represent the hood. Yeah, Straight Outta Compton is a very, very good movie.
So you mentioned the Wayans brothers. I'm gonna continue that with my only like. So they actually, I would argue. Let me bring up my movie. My number 10 is Scary Movie. Now, I would argue that the birth of Scary Movie was the catalyst because it was a successful film. There's no doubt about that. It hit all the right notes. It started becoming referential. It made a lot of money at the box office on not a very big budget. And for the time, much like the one you just brought up, Don't Be a Menace to Society while drinking juice in the hood.
That's South Central. Yeah. Very weird name to get used to, but yeah.
Yeah. It kind of spliced a lot of movies together and made a stringent narrative to bring them all together. This did that for the horror genre, and obviously horror fans are rabid, as we know. And it was interesting to see things like Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer, and there was a bit of Usual Suspects thrown in there, although it's not a horror, I appreciate, but Usual Suspects thrown in there for good measure. And it came out as counter-programming, especially to Scream, and it had all sorts of pop culture icons like the weather, you know. There was stuff which you were like, and there was Bullet Time with The Matrix, and there was like, you know what? It's dumb.
It took the tropes, yeah, because that horror genre was very much in that trope of horror. That is all we had as a style of horror at that time, yeah.
Yeah, before it became, I'm going to annoy some people in the critic circle here, elevated horror. But yeah, it hit the right notes. Now the problem was, as with most things in Hollywood, when you see something is successful, it's like they press the nuclear button. It's like, make 20 of these, do it now. Oh, we like Josh Hartnett in a movie. Put him in 20 movies before people realize he's not a very good actor. So there's the Hollywood machine is a thing, and I believe the Hollywood machine saw the success of Scary Movie and kind of in the process did a dirty number on this spoof parody genre. Because I'm going to hazard a guess without knowing what movies are on your list. There's not going to be many more movies like this that come up. They're certainly not for me, spoiler, but there's going to be things like, you know, Meet the Spartans.
Post this, probably not. No.
Yeah. Vampires suck. And look, the spoof parody genre was in such a dire place after this that even movies like Kick-Ass, because of their marketing, people thought, oh, it's another one of these goddamn, now they're doing it for superheroes.
You're very right. It took me a while and it was a superhero movie that came out after, but I thought it was all in the same vein. Refused to watch Kick-Ass, not knowing that it was a Kick-Ass movie.
Exactly. And not knowing that it actually had nothing to do with maybe a satire of the genre, but certainly not a spoof or a parody.
But Kick-Ass being a comic book of its own is something to be argued that it's not.
Exactly. Well, you could then argue that the comic book is a satirical take, but anyway, the crux of it is that even movies that were seemingly similar to these pseudo spoof spin-off things like Scary Movies didn't get a viewership, even ones like Kick-Ass, which were good because this did such a number on it, and they became progressively worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. This wasn't great, but I'll defend it because it kind of started something, even though it was something negative. There was something here. There was something interesting they were doing. I did have laughs with it. The weather, one of my favorite lines ever. This is Black TV. White people are dead. We getting the fuck out of here.
It was the beginning of the end. That's what I see Scary Movie as the beginning of the end, because what we had before was something. There is one person who I think should be a lot higher in my list, but it is what it is. It goes where it goes. But it was the beginning of the end, because after that, and I blame the Wayans because they done Scary Movie 2 and they were involved in a lot of these stuff, even if you didn't see them on screen. The marketing, the branding, everything had that same font and that same entire cast that just told you, yeah, we're mocking this genre now, and people just lost it. And I'm sure they were producers behind a lot of it. And that's where I lost a lot of love for them, actually. And I can't lie. And I have a lot of respect for the Wayans family. But then I had Marlon and Sean on a different tier where I was like, nah, the other two are funny. You two ain't. You know, no, they have their comedy. They do have their comedy. They are good. It was just an unfortunate situation. I didn't mind Scary Movie. I will say that.
It had moments. Jesus, see, there was even a tiny little part of me that enjoyed some scenes in Scary Movie too, but that was more me projecting my love for horror onto it because they did the Haunting and House on Haunted Hill stuff. So I was like, oh yeah, but I like those two movies, so I want to see what parody versions of them look like. But evaluating Scary Movie 2 as a standalone, no, not good. Scary Movie, fun. My number 9, also in the bottom 3, I've got some Liam Neeson. It could be higher, but I'm going off of memory with this one. The movie which I think they calculated in one... Sorry?
Leslie Nielsen, right? You said Liam Neeson.
Leslie Nielsen, sorry, you're quite right. two of them are becoming interchangeable at this point.
Father and son, right?
Yeah, I believe that there's a video on YouTube which picks out all of the spoof Easter eggs in this, and it references 24 other movies, but it's essentially a spy parody.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Spy Hard.
I don't think I've
So
saw this
stupid.
one.
So fun. So fun, AJ.
I think I missed it. It was on. This was when you're in that. I want to see, but I missed it. I missed it. Again, we're from an era where there was Netflix or Amazon and Disney Plus and the rest, streaming services, not to eliminate anyone. So when you missed it and you didn't get it on video, you missed it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. This was I was privileged and lucky to have a grandmother who was using Sky at the time. This was on Sky all the goddamn time. This literally became a sort of twice monthly Saturday evening rewatch for me. Yeah, big fan of Spy Hard when I was younger. Monumentally stupid. Like he'll be in a face-off in a fight with someone and he'd be like, "Don't touch me, I've got a bomb." And they'll be like, "You really think I'm gonna fall for the old attached to a bomb trick? Snake in the tree. Grab the snake. How about the old snake trick?" Throws the snake at him. Lowbrow to the nth degree. So stupid, but funny.
So here's the thing. Leslie Nielsen was the king of this genre. I don't actually.
Yes.
I'm not gonna. There's nothing to argue or debate on this. That's who he was. And yeah, some of them will be, as you said, it's lowbrow, but that's the whole thing of spoof. It was, we are taking whatever topic and rinsing the crap out of it. Live with it. Like, yeah, that's what it was all about. So yeah, it can be, but it's one of those things. In the moment you could laugh, you might look back and be like, "Oh God, did I laugh at this?" But we appreciate it for what it is. We appreciate it for what it is.
Yeah. My number 8. I'm surprised this is as low as it is, but I think it speaks volumes as to actually how good some of these spoof parody movies are. When we first did this, I was like, "Oh, this is going to be very high," and it's down to 8. Trey Parker and Matt Stone's Team America: World Police. Yeah, man. Listen, if you're not a South Park kid,
minor punt.
Oh, is it?
Minor
punt. Okay,
yeah.
Over
Very
to you
minor.
then. You're number 7.
My number 10, 9, 8. Yeah, 7. Yes, that is correct. Yeah, sorry, because I just had to rearrange some stuff. You're right. You talked about
Math
the
is
movie
fun.
that you. Hey. Yeah, I was going to say something else, but you probably endorse it. But yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll leave
Say it.
I remember reading it once where someone said something like, it was something where they'd done the decades and they got it completely wrong. Like, did you those born in 1980s are celebrating their 50th birthday? And someone commented beneath, "You obviously did meth, not math at school." So, it's just one of those guys. I was going to say, I was not clearly an advocate for that. But right. So you talked about hood movies and Straight Outta Compton. Before Straight Outta Compton, NWA were parodied before in a mini mockumentary featuring one of my, I will let you answer that or get rid of it. One of my favorite comedians being at the forefront of it. It is the one and only Chris Rock, who wasn't coming straight out of Compton. He was coming straight out of Low Cash in CB4. Now, as you can see, good old Chris there is taking the role of Eazy-E. And it's literally a mockumentary on gangster rap, showing it as the rise and fall of this group. So you see the group separate and then try to reunite and what have you. And it's just literally ripping NWA. So as you can see, Chris is doing Eazy-E. Someone else has got like the Dre image. You've got this other one who actually plays a very militant black guy as well. If you've ever seen this skit where they talk about like Juneteenth or Black History Month, and you just got this guy just standing there. He's like, so Chris Rock is there at home watching TV. But it's not even that. It's even worse. You could literally type it in. And I remember the first time I saw it, I caught half of this film on Sky, then I saw the whole film. And I was like, "Oh, look, Chris Rock in the movie." And he's like laid out because the group have disbanded. And they're like, he's watching film, putting a load of weight. And here comes the new track from, I can't remember the guy's name. And as you knew, he's the militant black guy. Literally, this is the words. I'm black, y'all. I'm black, y'all. I'm blackity black, black, y'all. I'm blackity black. And that's how militant he is. It's so stupid, but it was just plays into it. Like literally, you can type in CB4, I'm black, and you'll see the whole song. It's obviously a 30-second clip, but you crack up like, what the hell? But yeah, it's a whole spoof on the whole gangster rap image and the rise and fall of NWA. So definitely worth a watch. Seen it, I'm vividly remembering it, but look, it's Chris Rock and it's a play on NWA. Definitely worth it.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Chris Rock playing Eazy-E. I kind of feel like I need that in my life.
It's missing from your life, right?
Yeah, I think it was, you
Give
know.
it a shot. Give it a shot, yeah. So most definitely. And then in at number 6 is your punt, Team America, who, again, if we're going to play that game, I wasn't the South Park guy. No. For my birthday, I went to Book of Mormon. I did not, and I was up for the laugh. Actually felt the offense. I was like, no, we're not doing this.
Gotcha.
I've never walked out of the cinema. I'm sure as hell never walked out of a theater. Price tag definitely says you should never walk out of a theater. I looked at the person I was with and like, do you want to leave? That's how close I was to leaving. Like, yeah. But
then Jay and Matt have done their job.
Look, no, I don't think, because here's the thing.
Yes.
As a person who, I have my limits. Like, there's a certain level I play with religion. There's a certain thing I play with racism and what have you. There is a line. I tiptoe on that line all the time. There are some that make me go, "Ooh, that's deep," but I love it. Like, trust me, I get that. When the line becomes a dot, or the line is not even seen, now we're going wrong. And that's what happened with that. Here, I remember being a non-fan of South Park and being slightly over in age from missing Thunderbirds, because this is the whole thing about that one. I was like, oh, and I think had this come out pre-weigh-ins, I might have been slightly more inclined to watch it. But after this, so now we're spoofing the puppets, and I'd already lost the spoof love. I was like, whatever. And I can't remember what topic it was that we done this on. And I watched this show and cracked up like nobody. I think it might have been stop animation. I can't remember, was it stop animation or whatever we done. But that topic that we done made me watch this thing. And there was me thinking, negative Nancy AJ was like, I'm going to watch this just to make it my worst. Ended up being my number 1. So, that's where I can be. And I get it. If you are Arabic or Muslim, you might be slightly offended by the way you're
Korean.
Look, the fact that you can play into Kim Jong-un the way you did that way, I was like, hey, ballsy. Yeah. Like, honestly, the word is ballsy because you could have triggered a war. Is Franco on your list? James Franco on your list?
Is James Franco on my list? No.
Or Seth Rogen while we're on it?
No, you're safe.
I was very unaware of that film that nearly got cancelled and that they have to change it. Was it The Interview?
Oh, it's great. It's great.
I was like, wow. But do you know the history behind that?
Oh, I do indeed. Mad, isn't it?
Like, wow, that was some ish.
Yeah.
I was down with it. I was like, wow. So that was even ballsier than this. But for someone who enjoyed the Thunderbirds, and I know a lot of people joke at that, and dare I say the whole Jerry Anderson universe, the whole puppeteering thing, I was like, you're not playing with this. That's sacred to me. Don't mock it. I love Team America. I love everything that Team America has got to offer. And we're talking, we've said the Muslims/Arabs. We've said the Koreans. SAG, anyone? Is SAG going to get offended?
Genius.
Every angle of it. Yeah. That's what I say. Now you're playing into comedy where you're offensive, but I get it. But then there's ultra offensive. This I can play with. This I can, yeah.
Bro. Yes. I'm very glad you found the joys of Team America. It is fantastic. Not much to add. You've done a good job. Although I will say, you should definitely watched the new season of South Park, which started last week. I imagine you must have heard about what they did.
No. My head is very much in the sand.
An AI deep fake of Donald Trump. So they actually had his actual face in the show, and he has sex with Satan. It is the greatest thing I have seen in the last few years.
Considering I've seen what they've done with hell in Book of Mormon, that doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well,
And
that
the
was
great thing is, Trump saw it.
Of course he did.
Because he commented on it and how this isn't funny. Ha! Ha! That makes it even better. Ha!
Ballsy to Trey and Matt. Ballsy to the station that allowed that to air. I commend you to do that in the country.
Okay, we're going on a tangent here. Now I need to tell you about some more real ish that just happened. Have you heard of a late night talk show host called Stephen Colbert?
I'm pretty sure I know him. He does sound familiar. I just want to Google his face. But continue talking while I educate myself.
He basically took over from Jay Leno.
I believe so.
Jay Leno? Was it Jay Leno or was it?
Well, Leno was one of them. Letterman's another one.
It wasn't Letterman. It was one of the old late night talk show hosts who he took over from, right?
I recognize the face. I'm looking at him. I've seen him once or twice.
Yeah. So, Stephen Colbert, who works for... Am I allowed to say it? At the risk of us getting us in trouble, I won't say
the network.
The network. I'll say the
network.
He works for a network that Paramount were trying to buy out, right? Now, here's some fun story. Because Stephen Colbert is very, very outspoken about Donald Trump, and he has repeatedly gone after him, Trump, through, this is all hearsay and it's alleged, of course, but it's a question of joining the dots. It's pretty obvious. After Colbert did a very poignant piece on Trump, a few days later, it is announced Colbert has been cancelled.
Mm-hmm.
Trump managed to get him cancelled off of the network. Now, the network was scrambling to try and hide the fact that they'd bent the knee. Now, while this is going on, Trey Parker and Matt Stone, who work for Comedy Central, who are owned by Paramount, the same company who are trying to buy this Colbert network, basically went, oh, is it? We weren't going to air this. Publish. That episode that went up wasn't the episode that they had planned to go up for the first episode of season 1. They had it on the back burner. It was a breaking case of glass in case shit. And it was days before the first episode was meant to go up. They went, here's a new file. Publish that. Now you want to talk balls. You want to talk balls. That's why these guys are brilliant. That's why these guys are so important. They're looking at a modern day fascistic autocrat and saying, you want to play cancel culture? Okay, let's have some fun with you. Genius.
Listen, look, if you play with facts, fine. When you make your own assumptions, that's where I had like certain weird things with that play. I'm not crapping on it. Those who enjoy it, I'm lucky you can. And I'm not saying we didn't laugh. That's the sad bit behind it. There are parts of it that
inhuman not to.
Yeah, but there are other parts you're like, ooh, because you, and it's very weird. This is it. How can I say this? And I'm not saying like I'm sure I could have stopped some people from laughing, because when let's just say it clearly without trying to be polite, being black in the UK can mean certain areas you're used to being the only black person in a room. It's just the way of it, right? Don't get me wrong. There are certain sectors of London where
person in their group.
No, this is it. There are ways you can. Hey, Owen Hart was a good guy. You can always turn it the other way, and you can be in certain parts of London the only white person in there. But more so than not, it's the other way around. I know certain people, oh, Britain's not white anymore. Okay, cool. If you really believe that,
What?
go for it. Oh, you see it. Trust me, I can send you some
Oh,
comments.
no. I know it's said, but I'm laughing at people saying that, going, oh, we're being wiped out. I'm like, leave London. Get out the bubble. It's proper white.
I mean, yeah, but even London. That sounds bad on you. It's like, hey,
Black
I
people
left
in
London.
Liverpool are like a
It was getting too dark for me. I know you didn't say that, but like the thing is you're in there and you're in a room hearing people laugh at something, and you're the only two people not laughing. Trust me, there is very likely that there are some people who I heard barely laughing. That had I turned around, I guarantee you, they hesitated and laughed at the second time round. like no. It's funny. It's like where I work, we have a DJ, and one of the songs he used to play was Gold Digger. My favorite thing to do is just step up on a little platform and just watch and see who dares to say when he says, "But she ain't messing with no broke." Who's brave enough to continue? But I laugh at it, and whoever does, I'm like, credit. It's in the words, whatever. That's why I feel the Bake Off guy shouldn't have been cancelled. But that's a tangent. But yeah, that's my thing. Is that certain times you can. I don't mind being a laugh. I don't even mind being the butt of a joke. Use your facts behind it. Where there are certain things that literally, when we're like, with a bit more education, you might have had me laughing. Because there were some bits that treaded on the offensive, we laughed at, But yeah, there you are.
I love South Park with every fiber of my being. I love Trey Parker and Matt Stone. They make great TV. They make great movies. They make great plays. They even make great video games. That's right. South Park, The Stick of Truth, and The Fractured But Whole are amazing games.
There was another one, no? Something to do with movies? Or was that their film?
South Park, the movie. I mean, yeah, that's a thing back in the 90s.
Yeah, no. There was one, I thought it was like a Hollywood-based game that they had. Or something to do... Was there one with shooting cows? How many South Park games are there?
There's an old N64 game with South Park where you could do that. That's a thing.
Yeah, that's what I just remember. Scratching my head into the old archives there.
That was your 6, yeah?
Yeah, so it's over to you.
Cool. My 7, yeah. The spoof of Independence Day, essentially. Mars Attacks. Had to be done.
I actually forgot about this. Forgot about Mars Attacks. Yeah.
Such
good
fun.
Call.
And what a cast! Jack Nicholson.
When we talk about all-star cast,
it was incredible. Michael J. Fox, I'm pretty sure, was in it. Jack Black's in it. I'm missing so many people. Danny DeVito's in it. Tom Jones is in it. Annette Bening's in it. It's mental.
Yeah, this is an all-star cast movie for sure.
Natalie Portman's in it. Forgot that. Had to go very high pitch for that. Sorry for the listeners.
Lisa Marie, Glenn Close, Michael J. Fox, Sarah Jessica Parker.
Of course.
You said Martin Short, Pam Grier, Christina Applegate, Gray J, for God's sakes. These are the ones, yeah. There's a lot of people in this.
Honestly, one of the best casts ever.
Yeah.
Genuinely. Yeah. It's up there with The Bridge Too Far and with True Romance as being one of the best casts ever. It's bonkers.
God, story. Yeah. Oh my God, yeah. Forgot about that.
Story, very, very simple. Aliens come to Earth and the US tries to welcome them and, peace and all that. And the aliens have got other plans. Yeah. They come in peace. This is a lie. And they basically lay waste to planet Earth and try to conquer it. And humankind fights back. And it's all done through the lens of extreme comedy and goofiness. It's great.
Absolutely amazing. Really good. Really good fun. Really good fun. No, good shout on that. Good shout on that. Well played. I like that. I'm kind of upset with myself for forgetting that. Right. So that was your 7, your 6.
My 6. Robin Hood, Men in Tights.
Punt. That is a punt.
Punt. Okay, carry on.
Yes, that is a punt. Okay, right, over to me. So, guess what time it is? What a peace time. Here we are, number 5. Okay, in at number 5 for me. I'm sure this is a punt, but I do apologize to you, sir. Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
The disrespect, stop it, punt.
I had a feeling. I had a feeling. Oh, how did that happen? Okay. What is
This
going
is
on?
me going crazy. This is me going crazy. Are you mad?
StreamYard is glitching like flip. Okay. That's the first time you got me in a what's going on? Okay. Weird thing. So you know the company I'm with my internet.
Mhm.
When I left this area,
Mm.
my aunt lowered the package because the great package wasn't required because there wasn't a load of people gaming like we previously were in streaming.
Yeah.
She went to the lowest form. Since I've come back, and not because I came back, but we were like, do you know what? Let's upgrade. We could go a bit stronger. So I got to the mid package. Our internet has started to play up a bit. Occasionally freezes and stuff like that. So apologies if you've been watching any of our videos and I take a slight freeze. It's because of that. So now we're getting them to come back and either fix it or I don't know. Maybe I can convince her to go back to the higher package, but then I've got to commit to staying here for longer than has been anticipated. But anyway, that's the side note. So I thought it was the internet coming to haunt me there. Right, in at number 4 was the punt. Men in tights. Yes, Robin Hood.
Hang on. I just punted you.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, cool. You threw me off, you bastard.
My number 5. Go, baby, very good. Austin Powers. I'm going with number 2, The Spy Who Shagged Me.
I told you it was my turn because that's a punt again.
Fine, punt it is. Moving on, AJ. You're number 4.
Right. So, Robin Hood, Men in Tights. What's really funny about this is that we're very much in similar territories because they're all very minor punts going on at this point. But we talked about the whole Spy Hard and all of this. This was at the peak. A man that I have more appreciation for than Nico. Kevin Costner had the world in the palm of his hands because he was Robin Hood. In a 90s movie, and Bryan Adams had the world because definitely in the UK I think it was 14 weeks at number 1 with Anything I Do, and we also had Robin Hood the cartoon re-released, the Disney cartoon with the fox. So Robin Hood was very much a thing at this time, and then we see Cary Elwes is playing Robin Hood, Men in Tights. But everything that we've mentioned, whether it be Naked Gun, Hot Shots, all the rest, Spy Hard, they've done it here, but this time it's in Sherwood Forest, and it is absolute gold. The fact that Patrick Stewart turns up at the end is hilarious.
The fact that Dave Chappelle is in this.
Yeah. With partial sight for all of 2 minutes. Every element of this film just has you cracking up. It's what Spoof is meant to be. It's what Spoof is meant to be. It just sticks out to me slightly more than the others, and that's why there's a bit of a gap between that and Hot Shots and Naked Gun. But it was great comedy. It just takes all the different spoofs, stuff that aren't even time adjacent, are thrown in there, and you're like, yeah, what? And again, Dave Chappelle being very aware of being the black guy out there. All of it just in that time. It's just perfect comedy. I great time with the film. It's been forever since I've seen it. But I remember laughing my ass off to it multiple times.
And one of the best cross-industry shots fired I have ever heard. Because unlike other Robin Hoods, I have an English accent. Oh, yeah, boy! Say what we're all thinking!
Very well done. Very well done. I forgot about And again, it plays right into it. Costner was the guy at the time with that. But yes, he was missing the English accent. It started off for the beginning of the film, and then it just got worse as the film continued.
What can you do without freedom? Freedom is what sets us apart. We'll take our chances in Sherwood Forest. Shut up, Kevin.
Cool. Right, so that was my number 4. I will let you talk about.
Robin Hood Men in Tights. Do you know what? I need to add that to my collection. Let me make a note on that right now. Robin, things to buy. I have a whole note called things to buy and things to platinum. Ha!
Dare I say, keep the tiles of this show open. I would actually add everything that's in there. For the spoof genre and comedy genre, I don't think there's a bad mention in here.
Oh, listen, but a lot of these I own already. The CB4.
Oh, well, cool.
You know
That's what I'm saying. Eliminate
let
those
me add
that
CB4 while I'm at it. CB4 needs to be seen.
Yeah.
And
And
yeah, you know what?
again,
Weirdly, this thing, I kind of want to see this. Don't be a menace to South Central while drinking juice in the hood.
yeah, it's stupid.
I
It
kind of
is
want
all
to see
kinds of
that.
stupid, but
Can you
it
take
plays
it off
into the
screen, please?
stupidity. Yes, I can.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, man. Yeah. All right, cool. So that was your. Yeah, God, I love Robin Hood Men in Tights. Your 4. So my 4 now. Listen, a franchise near and dear to me. And whenever I get an opportunity to bring it up, I do. It's from the Carry On genre. I'm going with Carry On Screaming.
Well, funny enough, that would probably be the one of the few that could get in there.
Yeah.
Because Carry On is a product of its own. But yeah, I must admit, I'm not aware of that. I mean, I think AJ visioned it. I don't have the physical copies, but
you must. Yeah. All 30 Carry On movies in beautiful.
But you see, that is one of my favorite things. A box set is my favorite thing. If you ever go onto my personal thing, you'll see I had the box set of the Dark Knight trilogy because I could. I bought the entire Superman collection in fold out. One that you won't appreciate, but I made sure I got the Friday trilogy in a box set. I love a box set.
You'll appreciate. Hang about, let me find it.
I think I can see it in the corner. Is that the Batman collection there, or was it Final Destination? There was a box set directly over your shoulder. Ooh. I walked past that many a times in HMV. I tell you that now.
4 seasons, not 3. All 4 seasons, not the original 3. Yeah, man. Like,
sorry, just above your shoulder or just above your head. What is that collection there?
Here,
the other side. Yep, that one.
That is the Lord of the Rings on DVD, the extended editions.
The funny thing is that I didn't realize there was a toy. I didn't realize there was a toy there. I thought it was.
It is Prime. Come on, sir. And I have the Blu-ray extended editions off camera up there on the shelf. Because yes, DVD and Blu-ray has to be done. I also have The Hobbit somewhere.
Do you know what? Now that I've made the screen bigger, I can even see your Tommy Wiseau collection as well. Why don't you make the screen full screen? It's amazing what you see.
I can.
I also see the cultural appropriation of the Black Panther mask. I'm taking the piss. I'm taking the piss. I'll say that.
Do you know what? It's actually since we've dawdled and we're on the topic, it's actually a pretty cool freaking mask. Like, look at this.
That is nice. That is very nice. I toyed with getting the Captain England shield the other day.
I had this vision actually, and it also does this.
Nice.
Yeah, like it serves no purpose other than to be decor. I mean, I can put it on, but that would be cultural appropriation. I had this vision of having all sorts of these masks, like as part of my display. Then you realize how goddamn big they are, man.
Big
like,
they are.
Yeah, like they're sizable things. They're proper sizable. Let me get that. There we go. That's nice. Yeah, they're really sizable. I was like, they're going to be kind of pop size. No, they're big things.
They are.
Is what it is. But AJ, your camera is
Why
gone.
did that happen? Why on earth did that happen?
Is your Osmo dead, or has your Osmo's cable become unhappy?
Oh, bear me a second. Bear me a second. Have you paused?
Okay, and he's back. Let's talk. These Carry On films. As you said, look, they don't all lend themselves to being spoof/parodies because they are a subgenre, as you said, of comedy unto themselves, and they have all their own original stories. Carry On Screaming. You said there was another one. I'd be curious to know what that is in a moment. But Carry On Screaming is literally a Ripper Frankenstein.
No, I was saying I wasn't familiar with that one. That's what I said. No, I'm not sure that there was another one. I've seen other films, but I said I'm not familiar with that. This one.
Screaming is one of the later ones. I think Sid James had died by this point, sadly, but Kenneth Williams was still about, and he plays the evil mad scientist. And yeah, let me just bring up the image again. These two big beasties you see in the back, are the two Frankenstein characters. There's a little bit of Addams Family thrown in there for good
I was going
measure.
to say the monsters. Definitely the
Sorry?
monsters. That's what I get. The monsters. You familiar with the monsters, which was like a different take on the Addams Family?
I'm not,
Very
but it
similar
very well
show.
might be that they took a page out of that too. But no, it's mostly the female lead who I don't remember seeing her in other Carry On films, so I don't know her name like I would, your Hattie Jakes and Barbara Windsor and whatnot. But yeah, she very much had the kind of Morticia Addams vibe about her. Kenneth Williams is obviously Dr. Frankenstein. There's a little bit of, the Universal monster world thrown in here with the detectives hunting down the monsters and stuff. But it's a great romp. It's a great, great, great romp. I mean, listen, I'm of the opinion that there is not a bad Carry On film. Even the very last one only had one of the original cast members. But yeah, man, I will forever preach. Before Monty Python, we had the Carry On lot, and it is so worth watching. And they seem to be, as the generations go on, there seem to be more and more and more people who are, good show, who seem to be more and more unfamiliar with the Carry On comedy, and they have aged well. They have aged well. They're British as you like, but they're great.
Yeah. So I've sent you the image of the monsters. The only other one I can think of is Carry On Cleo, which would have been Playing with Time, which could possibly fall in.
Yeah,
That's the
I mean,
only
you
other
could
one I can
argue
think
that
that would be
Carry
a
On
spoof.
Cleo is a spoof of Anthony and Cleopatra. And I did think of Carry On Cleo. You're quite right, actually. It is basically a spoof. I didn't perceive it as a spoof, and I was incorrect on that. And it's also the fact that Carry On Cleo is like the go-to.
Yeah.
Carry On
No,
Cleo,
for sure.
Carry
I
On
was just saying,
Camping is
like, when I
the
said other
go-to.
one, I was like, is there one I know? And that would be the only one I can think of in Carry On that would fall under spoof.
Carry On Screaming, I don't think people bring it up enough. Even in the conversation of Carry On, this one isn't brought up enough, and it's really good. Like, it's really, really good.
I'll check it out.
Cool. All right, you're number 3.
Right, my number 3. Look, call it a cheat if you would. I'm going with the character because that was the master spoof, and it's continuation really. Austin Powers.
Yeah.
If you want, if I said, look, I called punt on 2. We could talk 2 if you wish. The reason I think I laughed more at 2, but you have to respect what number 1 done. Number 1 just took the entire Bond genre and just spun it. And dare I say, they even played with Demolition Man because we had the whole cryogenic freezing, and it was like
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. We've frozen our villain, and then we have to freeze our hero, and all of that. And it was just a great laugh, and you have to respect. I just realized what I was saying. You have to respect Mike Myers for the art that he can deliver in the world of comedy. Before this, he done So I Married an Axe Murderer and Wayne's World, and he was like an SNL favorite. This really brought him at, it put him back on a platform. Everyone saw what he was about, and he owned it. He absolutely owned it. And to this day, people will still cosplay Austin Powers. It's not quoted as much as it was, but you'll still see people quote Austin Powers. And it's all, it's mad to say that you can cosplay something essentially, which is a cosplay in itself, because it was the whole parody of Bond. Not that Bond ever dressed the way Austin does, but, that's the whole play into it. And it's mad that it's become such a phenomenon.
It is. And 2's definitely my favorite of the bunch. Like, they're all spoofs. 2 is my standout favorite, which is why I went for it. 3, 3's the lesser.
You don't need 3. You can watch it. Yeah,
you really can. The order is very much 2, 1, 3.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 with the introduction of Mini-Me and Fat Bastard was, God almighty. And it was all of these, the fact that one of the most ridiculous Bond girl names of all time is Pussy Galore, right? Like, that is a spoof name. I don't know what James Bond were thinking.
Away with it. Yeah.
What the hell? Or Octopussy. It's like, really? Why not just Octopus? Mental. But, Alota Vagina. Felicity Shagwell. And then 3 is like, I'm Foxy Cleopatra. I'm like, Beyonce, I love you, but that's not a lot of Vagina or Felicity Shagwell, is it?
And what was it? Something on the top as well, wasn't it?
Sorry?
Wasn't there someone on a top as well?
Yeah, Xenia on a top from
Yeah, there you are.
GoldenEye.
Yeah. Was
And
that no? But on it
Xenia,
wasn't it? Wasn't it? Yeah,
Xenia
no,
on a top.
she's in. I thought that was the spoof name. There you go. So
No,
Bond played
that's
it again.
Bond. That that in essence
Again,
is
for
what
all of my
annoyed me so
GoldenEye
much
love.
about the goddamn Daniel Craig movies. They got so hyper serious. Bond was serious, but there was always a tad little element of tongue in cheek with it.
Of course, yes, because Famke Janssen was always on the top when she was killing someone.
She was always on the top, and there was that throwaway line from Moneypenny when they've sent through the details on Xenia on the top, and Moneypenny says, "Good night, James. I trust you'll stay on the top of things." You know, there's little lines like that. You know, when he's hanging by the bell and Die Another Day from avoiding the car crash, and he's like, "Whew, saved by the bell." You know, you need that in Bond. Yeah, I want that Bond back, and I sound like such a goddamn boomer at the moment, even though I'm a millennial. It was better before. It was better before. It was. God. That's a box that I'm looking for. The entire James Bond collection, minus the Daniel Craig stuff. That's a box set I'd buy.
Oh, that is a box set, because that box set was out pre him, so you can most definitely buy that.
I will definitely buy that.
Yeah. Again,
my kids will be raised on James Bond, but yeah. Oh, speaking of kids, bro, I sent in the wrestling group the other day, but I wanted to share this on the pod. I put on jean shorts the other day, and your boy's lost about 13 kilos recently. I'm not gonna lie, I'm looking kind of fly at the moment. The six-pack's back, the chest is there. I'm like, all right, yeah. Leia's like, Daddy, you got strong again. I'm like, yeah, boy. I mean, yeah, girl. Yeah, I did. Put on the jean shorts. She's like, Daddy, you look like John Cena. You can't see me. And I was like, she's 3.5. My work here is done. I'm done. My life is good. Life is all good. All good.
Missus doesn't watch, your missus doesn't watch the show, does she?
But I told her about it. Funnily enough, Anya
likes John Cena. Does she watch the show?
No, God, no.
Right. I won. That's what I'm saying. Because when it was my child would not watch this then, God Daddy over here was not going to have that.
But you know what's interesting, right? I was, and I'll say this because I know Anya doesn't watch the show. Every Monday morning, no, I lied, Tuesday morning, Tuesday morning, Anya has to work for like 2-3 hours before it's my turn to work. I don't put on 3 hours of Raw, obviously, because it's their kids. Like, that would just be freaking irresponsible to put them in front of TV for that long at that age. If you do, no judgment, just how I raise my kids. But I do quickly go through the YouTube highlights, which there's usually about 8 of them, and they're about 3-minute bites. There was the tribute to Hulk Hogan. Now, my daughter obviously doesn't know who the hell Hulk Hogan is, right? Not a Scooby. But they played it, and she asked a few questions, and she was like, Daddy, who is this? And I'm like, one of, if not the most important wrestler ever. And funnily enough, the way that montage played, it kind of reinforced what I was saying, and it really dawned on me, like, yeah, I mean, Terry Bollea, the man, troubled, Hulk Hogan, the superstar. God, I'm gonna miss him. And it finished, and Leia said to me, Daddy, Mummy's weird. I'm like, why? She said, why doesn't she get wrestling? This is great. I'm like, huh? Huh? She watched a freaking Hulk Hogan tribute, a wrestler who she has never seen, and went, this is great. Why doesn't Mummy get it? She's weird. And I'm like, God damn.
Excuse me.
We're having a wardrobe change, are we, AJ?
I apologize to those on pod, but yes, there is just a moment where you have to acknowledge that the MOW exists for a reason.
Her pajamas at the moment, bro. It's a pajama because the t-shirt's too big for her, but it's the red John Cena London farewell tour t-shirt. She even said to me, she asked me, Daddy, who's John Cena's next match? And I said, oh, it's Cody Rhodes. And she said to me, oh, that's tough. I went, who's going to win, Leia? She went,
I'm in a position where it's difficult because I had my brother who lost passion. I had my cousin who lost passion. My nephews have never been indulged. He's never indulged. I've not had the opportunity to show Nathan's kids yet. It may happen. It may well just happen. Might even take a trip down to Boreham Woods to do an Ignite, do a family show, let them see what's what. Yeah, but it's weird. But I'm glad to see that it has a future. I'm glad to see it has a future.
Oh, it does. I'm doing it in a way which is very tactile while respecting my wife's desire to not let her watch full shows yet. Like I made the great mistake of letting her watch a highlight from Adam Page and Wheeler Yuta on Dynamite. Lots of blood. And I went, oh, yes.
Here's the thing.
That usually ends violently.
Here's the thing. In a where she could actually, it's weird to say it, but where she would thrive would be the golden era. You go back to that Hogan, Macho, and all of that stuff. Just try to avoid 91 Survivor Series. That will finish her.
Yeah.
That ham hock is not to be seen at that age.
No.
Legend, but not, yeah. But yeah. Do you know what? Maybe here's something for you to find as a DVD collection. Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling. There's a bit of a cartoon to get familiar with some of the old school characters.
I remember that, eh?
But
yeah. And I'm hoping that all of these movies that we're sharing, as well as the wrestling, is going to trickle down and continue to be loved and supported. Anyway, where the hell were we? Austin Powers, carry on screen. Austin Powers is your number 3, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. After that very personal tangent, my number 3. What We Do in the Shadows.
Do you know that slipped me? I don't know if I would have put it in, but then in the same, because it's how can I say
it? It is a mockumentary, which is a spoof of
Interview with a Vampire. Naturally, now it hit me. That would be what it is. Yeah, I forgot about it. That is, yeah, of course. Yeah, qualifies. I would. It's fun. Do you know that's very much like Showbiz, like something that I should have caught onto a lot earlier, and it just went over my head for too long. So
even if you didn't go down the spoof route, you could argue this as being a vampire parody.
Yeah, I would. Well, it's just a different. It was being a comedic vampire movie. That's the way I played it on it, as opposed to spoof.
It's a vampire. It's a parody of documentaries, and it's a parody of vampire movies.
True.
I swear to God. We're not werewolves. We're werewolves is still one of the best stupid lines I have ever heard. Or when the dude they've bitten realizes he can't eat normal food again. Oh, no more chops. Bro, I love chops. Oh, no chops. Chips, by the way, for those of you who don't speak Kiwi. Or French fries for people in America.
I think my favorite moment doesn't come from the film. I think it comes from the series. Going back to werewolves, is when they're at war with the werewolves and they throw the ball and the bastard goes right up.
That was the moment. Like the first 3 episodes of the show, I was like, I see where we're going. I remain unconvinced. The moment they brought the werewolves in and they kept it at that level, I was like, yep, cool. In. You seen the end of it, by the way?
No, God, no.
It's great.
I think the last episode I saw was Wesley in it, to be honest.
That's season 1.
Was it? I think I've done episode 1 of season 2 then, something like that, and then time just I'm all over the place.
Yeah,
that's me.
No, dude, it's great. It's watch it. It's 6 seasons. They're 8 episodes a season. They're all about 20 minutes long. It's not a big binge.
No, it's harmless. It's harmless watch. It's a harmless watch. There's nothing.
It's all on Disney Plus. Easy to find.
Nice.
Do it.
But no,
so good.
What we do in the shadows is great fun.
And this is kind of the movie that announced Taika Waititi to the world, isn't it? Like there's some. This is the most Taika Waititi of all Taika Waititi movies. It's pure New Zealand comedy. It's super tongue in cheek. It's dry. It's sarcastic. Yeah, man, it's something else. This film, I love it.
Yeah, no, absolutely, no, great fun. You put me onto it, and I had a lot of fun with it. I did have a very good amount of fun with that. So, yeah. Thank you very much for that. Okay, in at number 2, I didn't realize it's only when I went, The Magic of Mike Myers. I realized I'd done a back to back, and I didn't do it. Now I'm kind of hesitating on the which poster I should have gone with. But long story short, I've gone for Shrek, because in the element of parody, the whole fantasy books, the whole entire Brothers Grimm, if you wish, and then more, all of these things was spun on its entire axis with the appearance of Shrek. So while I say Spoof may have died, Shrek was the one consistent, the one thing that kind of kept it alive. All of them, each Shrek movie has its own. 1 and 2, I'm not a big fan of 3, and dare I say, the biggest spoof line actually came from Wreck-It Ralph 2, when they talked about Merida. She's from the other studio. They can't do that. But all of the characters that DreamWorks are allowed to play with, because it's Disney. Disney are most popular for it, but it's Brothers Grimm property. They took it. The ogres being villains, and they've changed it around for him to be. They're not villains. They're just misunderstood. How you play with Pinocchio and what makes him lie. The donkey, the dragons, who also featured on the last Top 10 Rushmore. Shout out to you and Lauren. Awesome show, which I watched while laid up in bed. Like all of the characters, the damsel in distress, all of it is just played so well into Shrek, and just making it one big, hell, yes, we've got the MCU, but this created a universe before anybody did,
Yeah.
Shout out to them, absolute props. Shrek and Shrek 2, to me, are awesome movies that just play into all of our fairy tale characters and destroy them, essentially. Great fun.
Shrek came out of nowhere, and I think had no business being as good as it was, and it's just such a cultural thing. And I don't know if you saw the most recent Puss in Boots movie, which is really good, by the way.
No, I haven't. I've not gone down the Puss in Boots route yet, if I'm honest.
First
I think
film's
Shrek
a bit
was
meh.
third, I stopped.
Puss in Boots, the first line is a bit meh. I think it's just called Puss.
Puss in Boots. Is it? Oh, maybe.
Pretty sure. Anyway, and it's the golden goose. They go after the golden goose that laid the golden egg, essentially. And yeah, man, the most recent one is kind of like they put Goldilocks and the Three Bears in, but it's got its whole and the wishing star from Pinocchio is obviously a big thing in it. There's a post-credit scene. Are you planning on watching Puss, or do you want me to get your excitement now?
No, so here's the funny thing about it, and this is something that's really sweet. I know it sounds weird to say kids are developing memories, but sometimes, when you could make a false promise to kids, it's that. I was on the phone to my brother earlier, and I'm talking to him, and my nephew who's on holidays, like, when are we going to Shrek's Adventure? You said you're taking us. So I'm definitely going to do the whole Shrek journey, because I'm going to be taking those kids to Shrek Adventure. So yeah, I'll wait out for that post-credit scene.
It's good. It's very, very good. It's
Nice. The temptation.
It's so big because we're talking about Shrek, obviously. So yeah, but look, which is your favorite of the Shrek movies?
I think I have a lot of love for one, for what it's done. Like, as you said, came out of nowhere. I think it'd have to be 2, though. I think the insertion of Puss in Boots was amazing. They expanded the world. The extra characters were brought in. It'd probably be 2, but I wouldn't be shocked if on a review I could be like, 1. 1
the
and
far,
2,
far away stuff in number 2, and introduction of John Cleese and the fairy godmother, of course. So good. Yeah. So damn good.
No, I had a lot of fun with that. Both of those.
Righty-o then. So my number 2 was the punt from earlier, which is
really
Yeah, surprised you, didn't I? Monty
I thought that was
Python.
a surefire number one.
So did I. So did I. Monty Python and the Holy Grail, I have said numerous times, is my favorite comedy of all time. So you would think, why is it not number one then on a list which is essentially comedic rooted? As a comedy, I think it's the GOAT. As a spoof, I think there's one better.
Interesting.
I think there's one
I'm
better.
intrigued. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. It's scene after scene after scene of pure unadulterated greatness. From the very opening, where you realize they're being meta, self-aware, and self-referential, and referencing the fact that they had no budget to make this movie. So yeah, and it's the freaking coconuts, and it's one guy following Arthur, and then there's that whole, oh, see, this is what happens with the royalty. This is what happens when it's, oh, genius. Having Connie Booth in there playing a witch, a witch, a witch. What else floats? A duck. Like, just one thing after another. The whole brave Sir Robin, he ran away. The knights who say, nee! The Black Knight, of course, the bunny guarding the cave. Just, it's ever, I fight in your general direction. Like, you can recite the scenes, because every single scene is just iconic in this film. It's like, how can we create these crazy things in medieval times featuring King Arthur and make it funny? Here's how. Just brilliant. And the way that they keep on reusing scenes again. Boom, 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 running. La, la, la. Boom, 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 boom. Why are we using the same scene again? Because we don't have a budget.
Look, I've had a lot of fun with Monty Python. I feel the last time I watched it, I didn't laugh as much, and that's why I've always. Again, sometimes it all depends on the zone you're in, you know. But I remember the first time watching it is something that I hold near and dear, because I was just, wow, this is nuts, this is crazy, and it's a lot of fun. Exactly how I feel about my number one, to be honest. Watched it once, but we'll get into that. But no, Monty Python. It needs to be respected. It's influential as hell. I think a lot of these films would not have been, had it not been, you wouldn't have the genre had it not been for a lot of the stuff they've done. And this is, you know, to me, again, I could be wrong and you might find a load of spoofs, but I go back to my OGs. And to me, I'd seen Hot Shots, I'd seen Naked Gun and all of that. I then saw this and I laughed and was like, so this is old. This is what gave these guys the inspiration to do what they've done. There is another film, and I will be bringing it up very shortly. But no, the Holy Grail is definitely a must watch. It is a must watch for all.
Your worst, AJ.
So I toyed with the idea of a worst, and then there was two, and I nearly said worst one and worst two, and I thought I'm going to go with the OG, because as much as we said, this man here is the face. Again, here we are. He is the face of this genre. He's also in another one that people lore over. They say it's hilarious. It's amazing. You have to see it. And it's all about taking these weird scenarios and everything. And I watched it and I could not laugh. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Airplane.
Yeah,
Airplane just did not work for me. I just don't. There's a few lines in there that I've seen and I'm like, ah, and then there's a few dad jokes of "Don't call me Shirley" and what have you.
Whatever. Like,
but no, but when someone says it, you kind of giggle, and then you realize where it's come from. And you're like, oh, okay, credit to you. But I remember there was like plain announcements over and over again, and I was just watching this film, and I was like, where's the jokes? Where are the jokes? Maybe I'll give it a shot again, just because sometimes I say frame of mind may change it, and maybe I was overhyped, expecting a laugh a minute. And all of these other films, I've had that. I did not get that with Airplane at all. Did not get it. And that's what makes it what it is. There is that, and there's another one, which is equally jointly despised, and I'm hoping you've got it. If not, I will bring it up, depending on your worst. But yeah, Airplane just did not work for me.
I imagine my worst is the one that's got us covered. Again, revered. People say some people hold it as their favorite comedy ever. We get trashed constantly for bringing it up. Dude, like I fail to laugh. Shaun of the Dead.
Thank God. Yeah, that was the one. I just don't get it. I just don't get it.
Don't
And it's
get
really
it.
funny, you know, because Simon Pegg can be funny. I know he done some stuff on Channel 4. I can't remember what the show was. It's the non-comedic stuff that I'm looking at Simon Pegg that I really enjoy, because him in Mission Impossible, worth the ticket price of admission. I've started The Boys again because I realized I lost track and I'm starting it again. Him as Huey Senior, worth the price of admission. Like, Simon Pegg's got it, and this Cornetto stuff just doesn't do it for me.
I got some time for Hot Fuzz. Not much, but I got some time for it. I don't find it funny. I do think that it's quite a well-made movie, though.
Yeah.
This, I was just like, oh, but you don't understand. It's about the British culture of no matter what going to the pub. Ha, ha, ha. Oh, you don't understand. It's irreverent. I don't understand irreverent. I've literally got Carry On, What We Do in the Shadows, and Monty Python on my list.
It's bad. I just don't get it. I remember, bear in mind, I'm a person who I don't do horror. I really don't do zombies. I've given time to horror and I've appreciated horror. I've given time to zombie movies and I've appreciated those. Then came this, which was like, okay, now you're going to rip the crap out of the stuff I don't like. And I just remember sitting there going, really? This isn't funny. This isn't funny. Okay, that's the zombie tropes that are stupid. You've made stupid stupider. I'm really not enjoying this. That was me throughout the film.
Yeah.
And because of it, stuff like At World's End or all of this stuff that have come from it, I've given it no time. I think I tried Hot Fuzz, and again with you, I can watch it, but I didn't laugh. And so by that time, between those two, I don't care which one came first. I've seen both, and I was like, you don't do it for me.
No.
That's what came from that. And anytime anything else came, I don't know if it's World's End or another one that's part of the trilogy, but I was like, don't care, not watching.
Edgar Wright, man. He did all three of those movies. He did Baby Driver, which we weren't that hot on, and the world is like, oh my God, it's amazing. He's doing the new Running Man, which everyone says, oh, it looks great. I'm like, there's something in here that I don't like the look of. And then I saw the director. I was like, there you go.
Yeah, I kind of saw the trailer when I went to see Fan 4, which I'm not going to comment on because I need to rewatch it. I'm not saying anything on Fantastic Four just yet. But
nothing to say. It's fucking goated.
See, this is why I'm not going to say anything, because we would be at war right now. So I'm just going to leave it as that.
Oh, we're going to talk off camera, mate. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying. But I it's one of those that I choose not to cast judgment. And I said it to the person I was with because she enjoyed it. And I'm like, I'm not going to talk because it was good, but I'm aware that I probably shouldn't have gone on that day. That's just the best way to describe it. It was just that. It was just that. Okay. My number one?
Please, sir.
So I talk about Leslie Nielsen being one of these comedic geniuses. There's another man of that era who also, I think, worked in the spoof era, who's an absolute comedic genius. I saw this show on Channel 5 once, and it stuck with me as one of the most amazing things. And I've been waiting forever for part 2, and I've now realized I think it's on Disney Plus, but as a series. I am talking about none other than Mel Brooks and History of the World Part 1. It was called Part 1 without any intentions of there even being a Part 2, but I just remember cracking up, because very much like Monty Python and the Holy Grail, they're just taking the historical and biblical facts and just ripping it in their way. So much so that I remember seeing stuff like the 10 Commandments, and it was actually that they had 3 tablets, but a guy dropped one. So they're like, these 15 commandments, 10 commandments have been sent to us by God. We realize how the 10 commandments came about. We realize the parting of the Red Sea, how that happened. I'm not actually going to spoil the jokes. I spoiled one already, but all of these different. Have you seen the film by any chance?
Sadly not.
No, but you'll then realize how the parting of the Red Sea happens, and it's all to do with great timing and everything. And you just watch it, and I think you can. I could be spoiling it here, but the joke could be, I think, if you mix the Last Supper and the parting of the Red Sea to be happening at the same time, you realize why the Red Sea took place. It's amazing, like really good comedy things. And then they tease History of the World Part 2 come in, and even those bits, the clips that they showed, which obviously didn't happen this many years later, have you laughing like, oh my days, what is going on? It's a one-time watch. It is a one-time watch, but it's always stuck to me as, this is great. I need to watch it. And I will go back to it again. Maybe it wouldn't be number one if I do go back and whatever, but I add that to your collection. I think you will appreciate it. Even if I lose passion, I think you will appreciate it to the end.
You've triggered something in me here. Mel Brooks. Spaceballs, Blazing Saddles, and the one which I've
not seen Spaceballs. I've not seen either of those, you know.
You'd love it.
Both of those are missing.
Rick Moranis, you know, you love Rick Moranis. He's in there.
Yeah, I know. He plays like the Darth Vader type character, isn't he?
Yeah. And the one I probably would have brought to the party, especially considering Leslie Nielsen's also in it, is Dracula Dead and Loving It.
That I did see. That was funny.
So funny.
Oh man, I forgot that.
Yeah.
Get that.
Honorable mention, that one, man. God,
yeah,
I love that.
Yeah.
Damn.
Okay,
Right.
so the fact that you are clearly a Mel Brooks fan, History of the World Part 1 has to be seen.
Yeah, Mel Brooks is great.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. My number one. You must know what it is.
At this point, there is one film that I've kind of realized I've forgotten. And I'm like, okay, yeah. Good fun. Tethers in the... I mean, it's a spoof of movies, isn't it? And Hollywood system as well.
Okay, you know what it is. Cool. My number one, Tropic Thunder. It is the spoof of spoofs. Like, I'm sorry. It is... Go on.
There's one thing I was going to say, just as I saw that poster. I don't know if you've seen this thing recently. I'll send it to you. But when they talk about the highest paid black actors recently, have you seen that post?
Downey Jr. Brilliant. Absolute gold. I did see that. That was gold. Listen, this movie spoofed blackface. This movie spoofed war movies. This movie spoofed the making of the movies. It spoofed Hollywood producers. It spoofed overpaid actors and their diva-ish behavior. It spoofed the idea of making sequels. If we're talking about top 10 spoof movies, how about the movie that spoofs movies?
Yeah.
It's just one of the greatest comedies ever. I find it staggering that people are offended by this movie. I'm like, what sort of tofu eating, inbred, big-eared, sensible, mayonnaise sandwich eating mother flubber do you have to be offended by a movie which is literally laughing at the idea that you shouldn't be offended by this stuff? It's funny. Not the blackface thing, but what the joke the movie
but that's
is making.
the thing. That is the thing. When you tell me that Robert Downey Jr. is going to play a black guy, and I'm like, excuse me? What?
Yes, obviously.
You enter triggered. Like, no. Then you hear, what is it with you people? What do you mean, you people? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
What do you mean, you people? See, even that joke has says, what do you mean, you people? What do you mean, you people? The actual black guy says it to the fake black guy. It's completely self-aware of what it's doing. Poking fun at method acting. Like, it's gold, this film. It is absolute gold. Like, don't be offended. Be funny.
Yeah. And again, that's what I say. That's where you could tread the lines, because you hear the things and you'll be like, no, you're not meant to. You shouldn't make jokes of it. No, you can, and you can laugh at it. You can laugh at certain things, and that is Tropic Thunder done very well of doing that.
It really did. Is it in my collection? QRS. God damn it, Tropic Thunder's not in there.
Oh, have you got it in alphabetical order?
Of course.
Nice.
Of course. I used to have it in a way so that it was aesthetically pleasing, and so that you could look like, for example, all of my Stanley Kubricks. See, they're harder to find now, but all of my Stanley Kubrick movies have this white sleeve here. Yeah. So I had them all together so I could see at a glance, okay, there's all my Stanley Kubrick movies, right? And the Tarantino ones have all got quite a similar spine as well. But it's like, you know what? Too much. Alphabetize this.
I don't know. Because you see me, I'm a guy. Here's the thing. So I've got the physical collection, as you know. I need to have like the MCU folder, you know? But again, I'm allowed to do shortcuts because I've also got the alphabetized version. So I know that certain things I would box at it because I have to. I remember when I first started the VHS collection, very tiny though it was the order of release of Jim Carrey movies.
That's nice.
It was fun.
But you can do it that way. J, Jim Carrey. M, Marvel Cinematic Universe.
That's a major reach, but yeah.
It's your freaking display. Do whatever the hell you want. Just make it make sense in your head.
That's the one. That is the one. No,
by the way,
right,
not a comic book movie to be found here. And I'm weirdly proud of that.
Why though? If you're building a collection and they are good,
hot take, they are great films. I don't think there is a single MCU movie, if I'm evaluating it the way I evaluate films, that would make it into my top 100 or even 200 movies.
It's not even about the ranking. It's based on the collection and appreciation. For a man to have the literal face of Wakanda on the shelf, but not then have the thing that's represented. So let's say, argument's sake, young Cosmo walks in, or young Leia. It doesn't have to be either. What's
Disney
that mask?
Disney Plus.
But you're all about support physical media. You got a freaking episode called Let's Get Physical coming.
100%. Maybe that will change as the kids, because listen, the kids have a huge influence on in how, like, bro, if you look at my Disney Plus, like algorithmic, this is what we recommend to you. It's freaking Bluey and Frozen. You know what I mean? Like, that may change. That may change. I just bought Bluey the video game for Leia. Absolute scandal. 35 quid and it's a 4-hour game.
Nath is trying to get Kaylin into games now, and
Bluey's a great entry point.
I said that. I think I've got a SpongeBob game which might also work for him.
I got a SpongeBob game too, yeah. I got her Spyro as well, but then I saw 6+, and I'm like, yeah, we'll wait for that one. But yeah, they haven't entered the phase of comic book movies yet. Like, listen, for the love I have for comic book movies, as you know, and the love I have for comic books, which are displayed up here. No, camera's over there, can't reach it. But yeah, I'm building a collection of what I think are the greatest films ever made, essentially. The movies which I think deserve to be supported because they're the movies which are going to become progressively harder and harder and harder to find.
Okay, in that vein, because I was just going to say, like...
Let me pull something random up here. Let's find something that would... Something like this. This sounds weird, right? To think this. This is becoming progressively harder to find. Okay, Eddie Murphy Raw.
Okay.
Or even better, because it's older. Richard Pryor live in concert. That's from the 60s, bro. You can't find that on a streaming service unless it's a paid platform like Amazon. That's not on Netflix.
Okay. I mean, part of... We've gone through...
This is something that... So the case of why is this in your collection? You know what I'm about to say. The grandfather of stand-up comedy, became a, bit part actor with the likes of Superman 3 and others. Genuinely one of the all-time great stand-ups. I put it up there with Robin Williams live at the Met, Eddie Murphy's Raw and Delirious, Bigger and Blacker. It's up there. Yeah? Hard to find. So when my kids get it to sort of 14 to 18 and they start to take an interest in this stuff, how do I prove to them that this was ever a thing?
Okay, I'm gonna. I mean, I could discuss further. I mean, look, AJ Vision being a thing. That's exactly why the collection started.
Something like the MCU is never not going to be findable. It is a multiple billion-dollar cash cow Hollywood machine that will be available until the end of time.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, in the same breath that we're saying a Bond collection is soon going to be up there, then surely it's there.
A Bond collection sans Daniel Craig.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if you're building that collection, then surely the MCU collection has a right on the shelf.
The Bond collection doesn't have its own dedicated platform. Therefore, it needs support.
I mean, I understand the crux of it, but I don't know. The completionist in me would add it.
Support physical media. Something which prints money doesn't need my support. You know what I mean?
Well, I get a bit. Listen,
a $1 billion movie, or in Avengers Endgame case, a $2 billion movie. It's like the freaking line from Eddie Murphy's Raw. He was butt naked on a zebra last week, or what is it? Hey, I'm going to take half your money. It's my hundreds of millions. Yeah, but I also work at the hair salon, and I bring my $15 every week. Now we have $100 million and $15 because I want to do my part. So the MCU ain't sweating Nico Leroux at the silver screen dude's 15 quid to buy Avengers Endgame.
I'm going to ask a question, and it holds no weight. Do you have Avatar in your collection?
That's a really good argument. Do you know why I got Avatar? This was before I do have Avatar. It is right here. The reason I got Avatar was because I got it during the original Blu-ray boom. So I got that out in Thailand, and it was just as Blu-rays were starting to become a thing, right? You remember when we transitioned from VHS to DVD, and it was like, okay, you can genuinely tell the jump in quality here. It's nuts. The jump in quality from DVD to Blu-ray, and that, the increase in the quality of the TVs being 4K and all that was like, And I was thinking, I've got my DVD collection back home. I'm not going to go and rebuy all the movies on Blu-ray. That would just be like, no, right? Same is why I don't have 3 copies of GTA 5. I've only got the 1, right? And I was
out of curiosity, just to cut you very quickly, is that a DVD, or is it a mix of DVD and Blu-ray collection, or is it entirely Blu-ray, entirely DVD, majority DVD?
Pretty much all entirely DVD, this stuff, with the odd Blu-ray here and there. Now, I got that during the Blu-ray boom, and it was like, and there was a big price jump also from DVD to Blu-ray. So I was like, for me to not only make the monetary investment of getting a Blu-ray as opposed to DVD, there's got to be like a reason for it. Avatar, at the time, most visually striking movie I think any of us had ever seen. I was like, listen, I don't have a DVD collection out in Thailand, but I'm going to buy this and bring this back when I visit England, because like that needs to be experienced in the best possible way, in 4K, in Blu-ray, surround sound, the works, all the love in the world to Casino. Casino can be watched on DVD. In fact, I'd argue having that kind of filmic age DVD adds something to Casino as opposed to Blu-ray, which would almost be too clean and sharp. You know what I mean? Like, there are certain movies where I'm like, you know what? You need the Blu-ray treatment, or you need the Ultra HD DVD treatment. Jurassic Park weirdly looks better on Blu-ray than on DVD than on Blu-ray.
I could go with that.
So yeah, I try to limit the Blu-rays I buy, or indeed Ultra HD DVDs I buy, unless there's like cause to. Avatar 2. Even that crappy film that came out a few years ago, The Creator. Not a great film, but Jesus Christ, it was beautiful. Blade Runner 2049. So pretty on Blu-ray. Do you see what I'm saying? There's a method to the madness. It's you got to reach for it, but there is a method inside my noggin about what I'll buy and why, and about what
it's your library. If it makes sense to you, then run the rest of the world. I just found it interesting.
That's it. And it's like, I've got, and of course I have to do now what every single person used to do when on MTV Cribs, right? Yeah. Put out a copy of Scarface. You remember that? Every time someone would
everyone
in Cribs, they would pull out Scarface. Which now has become popular and trendy to hate on. I'm like, Well, that's dumb.
Whatever. Yeah. People will have that's just the way the pendulum swings. But yes, okay.
We technically have a Rushmore.
Yes, I was going to say top tens done. Side notes away. It's time to get to the crux of it. Yes, I believe there were 4 films that were punted, and that essentially makes a Rushmore.
Okay, so no need for debate this week. We have our movie Mount Rushmore. Let's break out the voice. Ladies and gentlemen, the official movie Mount Rushmore of spoof parody movies in no particular order is
Robin Hood, Men in Tights.
Our second entry is
Austin Powers. So I'm going to say 2. I'm going to say 2 based on your choice.
Our third entry is
Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Our final entry into the movie Mount Rushmore of spoof parody movies is
Team America, World Police. I knew there was an extra part to the name. That's what I was Googling. That's why it was the last one mentioned. I was like, what's the last part of that freaking film? Yeah.
That was good, man. Right. What shall we? And yeah, as we've said, you've got the new Naked Gun coming out. Obviously, please, guys, go and support cinemas as well as physical media. Get yourselves to the cinemas, and go and support a spoof movie, which from the trailer looks really good. And we emphasize again, it's the sort of stuff that doesn't really get made anymore.
Yeah. As long as they didn't put all the good bits in the trailer, I'll be a happy man. That's my only fear.
Right. I guess we'll talk off camera about what we do next month.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, guys, thank you very much. Yeah, it took a bit of a drag. It would take a bigger drag had we been live, but hey, all the tangents are worth the discussion.
Well, that's a fact.
My closing statement: should the MCU be in his DVD collection? Comment below. But until then, guys, I am the one AJ. Do make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Ring the notification bell so you know when not just us, but mainly him. He is up to some good stuff, reviewing stuff as he does, and letting the world know what's out there. So until the next time, I am the one AJ Anthony Jordan.
Yep, keep looking out for my cross collaboration with Waze Entertainment on Instagram. I'm doing a lot of micro reviews on Instagram too. So for those of you who've got short attention spans and don't want to commit to a full 6 to 9 minute review, if that's you, for shame. But if that's you, I got you. Head on over to the Silver Screen Dudes on Instagram, and you've got the condensed reviews on there, about 1.5 minutes long. So it still allows you to keep up with what's going on over here on the channel. Thank you all so much for watching and for listening. We'll try and be back live next month. But until then, I'm Nico Luro, and we will see you on the next episode of the movie Mount Rushmore. Bye for now.
See ya.